sometimes I get tired of you kids not getting the same sort of satisfaction I do out of math. So we're talking again about unit multipliers. And I may sound like a broken record, which nobody listens to records anymore, so you don't know what a broken record looks like. Why? What does that phrase even mean, Brady? Yeah. But why does a broken record repeat itself? Have you ever played a record? Well, because back in the day, they used to get, if you get a scratch on a record, because the little needle follows a whole bunch of little grooves, well, if you got a scratch on it, that needle would not go to the next groove. A record was made like a big spiral. It's just nothing but a bunch of grooves. Let's get small. Just so you know where the phrase comes from, because I actually grew up in the days of records. You know, the record was made in this little spiral thing. It would follow that little track there. But if you had a little scratch in it, when the needle of your record player would get here, but instead of continuing on to the next little line, it would go back and keep going in the same loop. And you'd say the same thing over and over and over and over. What is the deal with unit multipliers? Kevin Wills says, anytime the word unit multiplier comes up, I think of one big word, and that is, oh boy. Gauss, please tell me you know. Are you looking under your notes under unit multipliers? What word did we write in ginormous letters? Thank you very much. People, this is about labels. I cannot stress enough that this, in my best frightening handwriting, is about labels or crossing them off. Okay? It's actually about cross-canceling labels. Cross-canceling labels. And I will tell you again, this is one of the top 5 things in math, if you learn, will help you in science and in everything else, because it's all based on the same thing. Here is the example. If you were asked to change 3 miles per minute to miles per hour, convert, what did I say? 3 miles per minute to miles per hour. Dramatic pause time. Are you ready? Just like normal unit multipliers, you write down what you're given. I am given 3 miles per minute. That's not what I wanted. I really should be calibrated. Which looks like this. 3 miles, and I have to write this one out because miles and minutes all have the same letters. 3 miles, the word per is a fraction line, and if it just says minute, that means 3 miles per 1 minute. And I want to change that into, what label do I want to change? I want to change miles to minutes to miles per hour. So what label needs to be changed? The minutes needs to be changed to hours. Hours. How am I going to do that? Kevin, it's all about labels. Am I doing something wrong here? Because when people are smiling like this, is my zipper open? No? There seems to be like a lot of happiness over that. It just isn't typical. So, how do I change minutes to hours? If minutes are down here, Aiden, where do minutes have to be over here? Right, because the label needs a cross off. And I am changing minutes into hours. This is my unit multiplier. You just need to know how many minutes are in an hour or how many hours in a minute, which hopefully by now in your 13 or / 14 years of life, Lacey Robbins, you know how many minutes are in an hour, which are 60. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. And then through the miracle of mathematics, what happens next? Label minutes, cross off with label minutes, and I am left with hours. I just have to do the math. 3 times 60 is 180, and it is miles per hour, or as we say, mph. It takes all of the thinking as to what I have to do, what kind of math. It's all cut and or dried for you. By the way, where does that phrase come from? Cut and dried. Here, how about this one? Change 880 yards. 880 yards in 2 minutes to what else? What does it say? Feet per minute. Feet per minute. What is going to be my first step there? Kate, what will I do first if I'm given that problem from the book?
Put yards over minute.
Yeah, I'm going to take my given and make it a fraction. See, it's yards per 2 minutes, so 880 yards per 2 minutes, and it's okay to have that 2 down there. That's not going to hurt anything. I'm just going to have to get rid of it in a minute. And I'm going to multiply it by being a multiplier that converts what into what? I need to change what Ephraim into what?
Yards and feet.
So, where are my yards going to go? On the bottom. What's going to go on top?
Minutes.
Feet. Thank you very much. Yards to feet. That's what I'm changing it to. And you need to know how many Daniel feet are in yards or yards in feet. What is my conversion ratio fraction? What? Did you say 3 feet in 1 yard, right? So what does this look like when all the smoke clears? First thing you do is cross off your labels. Yards cross off. Okay, you are then going to, and you can do this in any way you want. You can multiply this times this. You could divide 2 into 880. Let's do that. 2 goes into 880 440 times. And then 3 times 440 is what? 0, 12, 1,320. What label is left? Feet per minute. $1,320 feet per minute. You can see how incredibly easy this is. Let's do something that's a little. Ooh. I'm going to give you this one. 24 miles per gallon. Two miles per quart. Give you a second to do that. Miles per gallon, 2 miles per quart. You got something, Ephraim?
Yeah.
What'd you come up with?
So far, I have
Well, you don't have an answer?
no
Okay. The math? Is it hard math to do? I don't know. Brendan Massey, did you come up with something?
I'm confused.
Oh boy, my directions were not necessarily clear. Did you make a fraction out of the first one? Did you put 24 miles over gallons?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. See if we can get to the root of confusion. 24 miles over 1 gallon. The only difference in what we're doing now as opposed to what we did before, this is in rates, and rates have things on top and bottom. Before we would just have something over 1, but this time we have. What am I crossing out? What do I need to change? I'm changing gallons into quarts. So where does gallons go, Brendan?
On top.
On top. What goes on the bottom?
Miles.
No, quarts. Gallons into quarts. And as you look at Mr. Gallon over here, in case you're confused about how many quarts are in a gallon, there are, notice his thighs and his shoulders, those are quarts. There are 4 quarts in 1 gallon. 4 quarts make up 1 gallon. That's your unit multiplier. And what happens? The gallons cross off. 24 divided by 4 would be 6 miles per quart. How many of you actually came up with such a thing? All right, good. And then how about 6 miles in 24 minutes is how many miles per hour? 6 miles in 24 minutes, this is a 4, is how many miles per hour? MPH. 6 miles in 24 minutes is how many miles per hour? And we have an answer. Abe, did you say no?
No.
This is cut right, people. There's no thinking in this at all. Miles per gallon to miles per hour. Wait, miles per minute to miles per hour. Sorry. I don't know. I don't know where you can. I don't even know where the train can even leave the track on this because it's just this. 6 miles in 24 minutes. This is miles. You need to change minutes to hours. So hours, minutes would have to go up here. Hours would have to go there. How many minutes are in an hour? 60 minutes in 1 hour. So now you just have to do the math because minutes cross off. 6 times 60 divided by 24, or cross cancel before you multiply. You know that 6 goes into 24 4 times. 6 goes into 6 once. You can take 4 into 60 15 times, and there's going to be your answer, 1 times 15. It would be 15 miles per hour. Where do we get lost on the math part of that or
For what
the
I-
labels part? Huh? I mean, you could have taken 6 times 60 and got 360 and then just divided that by 24. You're still going to get 15. Oh God. Well, I can only